Hi, welcome back to my High Plains Life. My name is Danielle, your host, and today is Friday, October 9th, 2020. The crunching is from my dog eating a bone, a rawhide. I thought she'd be quieter, so I apologize, but it keeps her entertained and then she's not like wanting to come in and out of the room, so needs must. Let's start with what I'm wearing. This is the Expeditious shawl by A.S. Let me see. By A.S. Anderson. It's knit out of Lorna's Laces sock weight in the Prague colorway. Absolutely love it. It's a single skein project. Actually, it's getting a little warm. This might come off later. Single skein project. I literally have 9 yards left. And I might have been able to get in another row, but I didn't want to, that was enough. So that's what I'm wearing. And moving on to what's currently on the needles, or off the needles, as the case may be, I have 2 FOs. So the first one is simple. It's just a charity hat, and this is like super bulky, chunky acrylic. Like this hat probably weighs a pound, 2 pounds. It's heavy. And I just did a ribbed brim with standard decreases. It's simple and plain and heavy. Acrylic, washable and warm. This is going to charity, so no non-superwash wool for them. My second finished object is my sanctuary. I will link to the project page in my show notes. Of course, I have thread on it. I can't remember who the designer is, but it comes in all sizes from like child to adult. This is a 3XL, and it's washed and blocked, and I did do FO photos, but not styled or anything, so it looks kind of, I will not put them here. The fronts are just simple stockinette panels. I did have to, you can see where the bind off starts like right there to give you a curved edge. I did have to pull it out back to the first of the bind off, knit a little more length to it, and then start the bind off again because it was just a little too cropped for me. And not a problem. And then the back is this lovely lace pattern. And beautiful. It's a cotton linen yarn, so it's going to be like a nice lightweight layering piece for summer. Of course, I don't finish it till fall. Yay! Started this last summer for the Camp Loopy project, and obviously didn't finish within the month. So, but there's my sanctuary. I still have yarn left over because I think in my calculations I was going to make it bigger. I think I'll just make an accessory with that cotton linen now. So something else. We shall see. Those are my FOs. What is currently on my needles is my Swirly Socks for my niece. And this is out of Lemonade Shop. What the AF? Yarn. I still have a whole bunch. And I made them shorties. So, did I not? Apparently I did not cut off the yarn at the ends. I don't know, maybe I didn't have scissors. Nylon makes it a little hard to just pull. Okay, so Swirly Socks, I made them shorties, and afterthought heels, I need to cut them in and put in the afterthought heels and weave in ends. Um, yeah, they live in Phoenix, so tall socks don't really work. Anyway, they don't need them. So, swirly socks that apparently I need to cut and weave ends in addition to putting in the afterthought heels. I've got a lot of socks on the go right now, and I want more because it's October and Amy Florence of Stranded has a sock knit along going right now too for the holidays. Just I have ideas to cast on more socks. So this is another sock with lollipop yarn, blew my mind. And because it's wound into a gobstopper, I could not knit my two at a time, which kind of threw me off. But, and then it includes a mini of a contrasting color. Gorgeous. And these are just Hermione's everyday socks because it's a simple enough pattern that it works well with self-striping, but it is still a pattern. So I actually did them cuff down the heel in Hermione's everyday sock pattern, and I'm about a third of the way down the foot. This is one of my beaded stitch markers I made. And I just have that on there because it's fall and it looks pretty. Little jewelry. Okay, so about a third of the way down with the foot, and then I have to cast on sock number 2. And that is residing in my black sheep project bag that I made. I think I showed you. If not, look, I even have a tape measure on there. Black sheep, outdoor fabric, little pocket inside. Get it? It's green like grass because sheepy grass. I'm funny in my own head. And this is the zipper's done with a wide mouth zipper, so it goes off the edge so the whole thing opens up. And it's got a little handle, so I have a matching mask that goes with this too. Sock number 2. I have picked up my Walk on the Moon shawl and started color 3. Okay, I'm at the end of one skein and the beginning of another, so just ignore that. If I want to show it all, I really need to get a longer cable because right now it's kind of bunched up on my cables. Look, it's my Hufflepuff, another beaded stitch progress keeper. This one's kind of big, so I only made one. I have a pattern for every house, but I'm a Hufflepuff. So, but it's like 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches wide, so that's kind of big. It takes a lot of time to make, so only for special people like me. Okay, Walk on the Moon shawl. Color 3, which is this spruce green. Let's see. That's accurate. If I pull it back, there's just not much in it yet. Has been started. So the spruce green, couple rows there, couple rows here, and I'm starting the bottom again. I love the textures in this shawl. They're different, but they coordinate together enough to keep within a style vision, which I really like. And it is 50/50 merino silk. So this is getting big enough that it's pretty warm sitting on my lap when I knit now. And yeah, I have to pay attention enough because there are patterned rows. So the Knit Companion app on my phone is my best friend. And The rows are getting pretty long right about now. I could think there's maybe 600 stitches on them. So if I put it on a longer cable, you could really see. Ha! The next project I have on the needles is, since I finished my charity hat, I have started a new charity blanket, or shawl slash stole, kind of whatever. This is just line brand homespun on a J hook. Um, on a J hook, and I'm just doing a V-stitch shawl, V-stitch stole. So this is the width, and I have 3 skeins of this blue, so this is 1 skein, and then I have some white. So I'm gonna go blue, white, blue, white, blue. And then it should be long enough to either wrap around the shoulders or use as like a lap blanket. For the older people who are in wheelchairs, something narrow like this is good, because then it doesn't go over the sides and get caught in the wheelchair wheels, if I'm making any sense. I have been really out of practice in organizing my thoughts together to converse with other people. Being isolated and quarantined at home, I'm talk to my husband, and that's pretty much it, or myself or the dog. And so, stringing together intelligible sentences, apparently you use it or lose it. At least that's how I feel. So bear with me. Okay, so I have made some acquisitions. Hue Loco discontinued her fall 2018 colorways, and so I was too slow jumping on the website to purchase any of the moss, but I was able to get Harbor and another colorway at You and Me, my local yarn store, which does carry Hue Loco. And I got a kit to make a Broncos hat. Of course, they don't have it here. It's just orange, blue, and white, and it has a multicolor pom-pom with it that's already been made. So that will become a cast-on for my Down Cellar Studio pigskin party soon. See, I'm like, cast on, cast on, cast on. But I'm glad I know I'm not the only one with that issue, so yay. So those are my acquisitions. I have not done any spinning all summer, and generally because it's been hot, and I don't know, maybe I'm just like a sweaty person, but when I draft, like the fiber seems to like stick to my hands because it's hotter, so I'm not very consistent. So I just decided not to do any spinning this summer, and I've already, well, not for the whole summer, and I've already plied up a lot of the singles that I had, so I just kept myself busy with other crafts, such as quilting. For under the needle, I have been doing a lot of sewing, mostly quilting. One of the quilt guilds I belong to has begun holding meetings. They started in August. The other one has canceled them for the rest of the year. You know, everybody's just trying to make the best decisions they can. So there's always that. The projects that I've been keeping up with are the Blockheads 3 through Moda. There's a new design every week, and I have 28, 34. I have my design walls right behind, so I'm looking up and counting how many blocks I have done. So I have 34 blocks finished. I'm about 3 weeks behind now because I sprained my thumb almost 2 weeks ago now. It should not have taken this long to heal. Um, so I sprained my thumb. One problem is probably that I really truly haven't been resting it. Like, I'm right-handed, and opposable thumbs are required. You know, that's what allows us to use tools. So I haven't been able to cut fabric because using the rotary cutter uh, just really didn't feel good. And it was actually difficult to knit for a while. I couldn't do beadwork and I couldn't hand stitch. So I was sitting at the couch, literally, and my husband's like, man, your thumb really needs to get better because you're not doing well. True. So I am a few weeks behind on that, but not much. And I've really, still looking at the blocks, enjoyed it so far. There are a few blocks I've chose not to do just because they didn't appeal to me or I didn't feel like they'd fit into the style of the quilt I'm aiming for. And that's pretty much it. I have also very excited just joined up with my Quilt Guild, the Piecing Partners Quilt Guild in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which has been meeting. Had a call for members who are interested in doing a round robin. And so I have signed up for that, and I'm actually coordinating, which doesn't mean much. um, Basically just means I'm going to make sure everybody makes timelines and stays on top of exchanging the quilt around to everybody. So the way we're doing the round robin is everybody creates your own center block or medallion. Of it has to be within a certain size requirement, square or rectangular. And then you pass that to the next. There's 6 of us in the group. You pass that to the next lady. She adds a border anywhere from 3 to 8 inches wide on all 4 sides all the way around. It can be pieced, it can be appliqued, anything. And then they have 4 weeks to do their border, and then they pass it on to the next. So everybody starts with a center, and everybody just kind of rotates and passes it around. So every month you have a different quilt to work on, and everybody just adds a border, and then it gets passed on and they add the next border. So very excited to see how this turns out. I'm not sure what center I'm going to start with. I have a 16-inch block that I might use for it, but we'll have to see. I'll show you when I make the decision. Very excited about it though. So that's happening. I'm just excited to be able to talk to other women and, chat and find out about them and how they got into quilting and what they enjoy now. And do we have an itch? Yeah, Willow has an itch. It's, even if we only see each other once a month, we've got a text chain and an email chain going, and I'm just so excited to be able to have a running conversation with other people. So, hi. You want to come up here? No? Okay. I'm just so excited about that. I can't express how much. Yay. I've been adding hexies to my hexie quilt. As I stated before, it's just a long-term project. So just plan on keep going. I've got 3 sides straightened out, and I think I'll just add along the 4th side with the remaining hexies that I already have fabric cut for. We'll see the size, and then I think that might be it for that one. And then I might frame it and just throw it up on the wall and start another one. Maybe I'll use 1-inch hexies this time instead of 1/2 inch. I don't know. Something else on my needles, which I have not been able to work on the last couple weeks because of my thumb, that sucks, has been beaded stitch markers. I showed you my fall tree. I haven't talked to you over the summer, so I'm not sure if I've shown you these or not. So if I have, I apologize. And if not, enjoy. And P.S. if there's any of them that interest you, please feel free to add a comment or DM me. I sell these at a local yarn shop, You and Me, but I don't do it on Etsy or anything. But if something interests you, feel free to contact me and we can work that out. A little anchor with some stitch markers. And I did have some little sailboats that I made too. And a pirate ship. And this pattern is from Bead Crumbs, Hawaii. Thank you. She has some patterns available for free that you can use for commercial use. And then she has some patterns that are paid, which I have done also. Her sea turtle ones are adorable, so I've made those. So it's kind of, you know, like I want to give credit for the design where credit is due. And my project page for beaded stitch markers, I have a project page on Ravelry in which I do list all the designers and the patterns that I have made designed by that person. And I have to keep it separately of what is available for commercial use and what is no commercial use available, because then I can make them for my own personal use or for my friends. I just can't sell them. So, you know, just have to keep things in order. I love these. These are kind of summer things. That's a seahorse. And I just had these lovely lime green beads and some sea glass beads. And I'm like, I'm making seahorse things. And like some seashell. Oh, the light sucks. Yeah, those are just stitch markers. You know, so another seahorse. Just because I think the green and the blue looked so pretty together. I've made a bunch of fruit over the summer. Most of them are in the shop right now. I have strawberries. I made watermelon and cherries and a peach, maybe? I don't know. For those of you Harry Potter fans along with me, I showed you my Hogwarts crust I made earlier, but I also have a golden snitch. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so that's a golden snitch. It was a lot of fun to sew, to stitch. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I already have Halloween ones. Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington. A sugar skull. Witch's hat. That one's really kind of cool. And then for Thanksgiving, we have a turkey. Who else doesn't like a gobbler, a good gobbler? yeah, and that's pretty much all the ones that I've made over the summer. I take it back. I made little dragons. This is another Bead Crumbs Hawaii design. Aren't they cute? There's just so many cute designs. I want to make them all, but obviously I don't need a million stitch markers. In the garden, I have accomplished a lot. I ordered in this spring perennials from High Country Gardens, and I think I talked about that. They arrived in May, mid-May, planted them, and it was kind of hit or miss. Some of them did not make it. None of the Leatris that they sent me made it, and I knew when I planted them because moving them from the plastic cube to the ground, a lot of the dirt fell away, and they did not have well-established root systems. The rest of the plants, awesome root systems, but noticeably lacking on the Leatris, and of course, yes, none of them survived. maybe one out of 9. So, between that and I did purchase a bunch of perennials at our local nursery, Harding Nursery. They usually have a really great selection, especially with plants that grow well in our area. And so I did a bunch of planting this May. Most of it got done in May, maybe the 1st of June. And I still have areas to fill in. Some of it is because some didn't make it, and some is just because I have a lot more ground than I thought I did that needed, planted. But had a lot of fun with that. Colorado State University Extension Office has a great Master Gardener program, and at least this summer, they've offered a bunch of classes online in xeriscape and native plants and edible plants you can put in your garden, in soil erosion and combating it. They have a bunch of different classes that are available for free. You just sign up and they send you the Zoom link. Lots of fun. I learned a lot. And my favorite one probably was about xeriscaping, and about how it really just means planting together in zones according to watering requirements. It doesn't mean pull out all the plants and put down rocks. So it was really informative, and I got a lot of ideas from it. I did not pick my hops this year. We have already had our first frost in September 15th. We got 3 inches of snow and a frost. So I did not pick my hops this year. They did do well simply because I did not know anybody home brewing beer this year that is nearby. That would enjoy using my hops. I planted strawberries and some herbs. And they did great. The first frost hit the basil, of course, so no more harvesting after the point. But the parsley and the sage and the oregano is going into herb bombs. So basically, just chop it up and freeze it in little ice cube trays. And then store them in a Ziploc bag in your freezer. And whenever you need some fresh herbs, just take out one of the cubes and throw them in your recipe. And I'm using the parsley to do some pre-made chimichurri. Very excited. Let's see. I did a lot of work, but I just enjoyed spending time out in the yard and the garden this summer through the spring and midsummer. And then um, fire season started, and we've had a lot of large fires in Colorado this year, as have several other states. Um, but yeah, so the last 6 to 8 weeks, I've pretty much stayed inside because the second I went outside, I would be out there for maybe 5 minutes before my eyes started stinging and watering and sinuses because the smoke is so bad. There are days we have actually been unable to see the mountains. So I go outside, smoke immediately gets to me, and I have to head back inside. So right now, a lot of the fall yard work isn't getting done yet. Um, we can see the mountains now, but it's still really hazy. Off topic. I have been, watching and listening. Brian got a new dual sport motorcycle this spring, which I think I mentioned earlier since our vacation was canceled. And we've picked up on watching a YouTube channel called Itchy Boots. And it's a woman, Norley. She's from the Netherlands. She's 32 and she's just traveling around the world pre-COVID. And she's got a new season that started now, but it's more local to her. Traveling around the world by herself. Awesome. She went through Iran by herself. And all the stands, except for one, like the one that's still Civil War fighting unrest. She skipped, but, Tajikistan, Kurdistan, all of them by herself. And I'm just like, ovaries of steel, you go. But it's Itchy Boots. And like I said, we've thoroughly enjoyed watching her motorcycle alone across the world. And so Brian's been riding his bike almost every weekend throughout the summer. And then 2 weeks ago, I finally got motivated enough to change the battery in my motorcycle and get it running again. It has been sitting in our garage for 3 years, unridden, and every summer I kept saying, oh, I'll get it going again this spring, so I can go ride over the summer, and it just never happened. And I finally did it, got on the road, almost cried because it brought so much joy back to me. And I remembered how much fun and just enjoyment I received from riding my motorcycle, and how I could let it go for 3 years without doing that. And I'm going to say right now, depression is a sneaky bitch. Yes, there are things I procrastinate on, but I do not put off things that I enjoy, that I love, that bring me pleasure because I am lazy or procrastinating. It's because that little voice in my head, is telling me, oh, you don't need to do that. We don't need to do that now. Let's go take a nap, so, I have to remind myself at times that I am managing my depression, which does not mean that I've defeated my depression. That's why I continue to take medication. It's why I, continue to do therapy tune-ups. I call them tune-ups. to remind myself to catch those thinking errors and to use healthy coping mechanisms versus, the unhealthy stuff done in the past. Um, it is being managed. Think I have it under control, and then something like this sneaks up on me, and I'm like, "Why? I can't believe I've put this off for so long because it is bringing me so much enjoyment. I don't understand what took me so long." So, if you, especially this summer, even introverts apparently are, this summer's been tough on people's mental health. So, just a reminder to, go easy on yourself and don't be afraid of a little self assessment every now and then. Okay, off my soapbox. I have enjoyed watching football again. Yes. Miss the preseason. Understand, again, people are making the best decisions they can for their health. I'm really glad they're hosting games again, though, because I think America needs that distraction right now. We need a little football in our lives. Of course, I'm doing fantasy football, and I just want to thank my boy Josh Allen. He's making me the points. Another Wyoming alum. Keep it up. I will try and get this edited and uploaded today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. Show notes can be found at www.myhighplainslife.blogspot.com. And you can find me as Danny Girl Co. on Ravelry and Instagram. Have a good day. Bye.